Hi, Karin. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to Limitless Imagination, an evening with Gaggenau.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Share with us what has inspired you to become an interior designer.
Well, it's funny. I grew up in a very small town in northern BC in Canada. And from the first time my dad asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I think I was 5. And I said, "I want to be a designer." And at the time, I actually had no idea what that even meant. But fast forward to going to university in Vancouver and studying interior design, I launched my business very shortly after I went to design school. And I really love that design is, for me, it's all about connection. It's really about connecting with other people, connecting people to spaces. And I love creating spaces that evoke an emotion and that really bring people together. So I've just always had it in me to do interior design work. And I love the practice of being creative and marrying that with a built environment.
Thank you. I do believe that at 5 years old, you do know what you want to be in your life. But then after, things change. And when you can go back to that, then you definitely build a strong brand. So your brand, Karin Bohn, is all about luxury. Tell us what has inspired you and what inspires you in Gaggenau.
Well, first of all, Gaggenau is the pinnacle of luxury kitchen appliances. And my firm, House of Bonn, does a variety of interior design work. My personal favorite type of work to do is really high-end, exclusive homes, single-family residences. And I work with Gaggenau. I love the product. And I love it when a client is really excited about installing kitchen appliances in their home. The thing that's magical about Gaggenau is that it's an appliance that is so versatile. So in North America and in Canada, when I do homes and design homes, the range of design style is very broad. So I'll do slick and contemporary homes that are very, very modern. And then we also do sort of Canadian American traditional homes that are a little more rustic, big spaces, big kitchens, weathered wood. And the amazing thing about Gaggenau is that the appliances fit in all of those styles. So I love the versatility of it. And then, of course, it's just a quality product. Any one of my clients that we've worked with and installed Gaggenau, they never go back. They fall in love with the product. So it's for all those reasons that I was so excited about this partnership.
I'm sure that definitely, in the variety of spaces that you decorate to be able to put luxury all over, it just works everywhere. So you have a show on Netflix, which is a dream for an interior designer. Congratulations. Tell us about the show and the trends that you have discovered there.
Yeah, it's definitely a dream for an interior designer. And I will say that when I launched my firm in 2009, that's when I officially incorporated. Truthfully, I always had the dream of doing television. And throughout my career, I was just as hard as I worked at building my interior design business, I was working equally as hard at getting a television show. I never thought or dreamt that it would go to Netflix. And so when the opportunity finally arose to actually do a show on Netflix, I had to jump at the opportunity. The amazing thing about the show is that I got to pair interior design with travel and fly around the world with 2 other amazing hosts, revamping restaurants and working with amazing people around the world. A big thing that I learned in all of these different countries, and I went to film in Finland, in Malta, in Hong Kong, all over the US, Canada. The interesting thing is that I learned that really, no matter where you are in the world, we really are the same. People want to come together and build their dream. People want to provide for their families and build community. And that's what we were doing with these restaurants. So it was an incredible experience.
That's amazing. And you have built for yourself a strong brand. You're an influencer on social media. You have your Netflix. you're collaborating with a luxury brand. Tell us about how you built your brand, and if you had to give an advice to other interior designers and architects, please do so.
Yeah, well, building my brand started really organically. And like I said, I launched my interior design business very shortly after I graduated from design school. I would not recommend that to young designers. I would say go and work at a firm for as long as you can. But I was hungry and ambitious and ready to get out there and build a name for myself. So I went out on my own very early. And in the first 5 years of building my business, I found it really challenging. Like getting new clients was difficult, managing finances, knowing when and who to hire, all the things that come with getting a business off the ground. It was just a really challenging time. And when I would go to events and networking events and talk to other people in business, I felt really kind of confused because everyone had the same answer. And that was that they were doing great and they were so busy. And here I was feeling like the beginning and the early stages was really challenging. And I thought, am I the only one that feels like this? So I decided to start a YouTube channel to bring that conversation of growing an interior design business, being a young designer, being a woman in business. And I started talking about all of these topics on my YouTube channel. And I really organically grew a following and an audience that was really interested in that conversation. So as I took that conversation online, I also realized that, hey, this is a great way to showcase the behind the scenes of what we're doing at our studio. You know, there's so many interior designers and architects, and we all produce beautiful work. You know, we all have that beautiful end product and photo at the end of the day. But I realized that through my YouTube channel and with social media, I could lift the curtain and show people more of what was going on behind the scenes. And the more I did that, the more people started to love it and they wanted more of it and people kept coming back. And the YouTube channel has grown now to over 13 million views, which I think is just insane and unbelievable. And the amazing thing about building a brand that way is that with the internet, you have such a global reach. So there's people all over the world that I connect with. And it's been amazing to see how clients have actually come out of my YouTube channel.
Yeah, which is a nice continuity to what you just said, because you shared about the brand and the career challenges. And then, okay.
Can I just say one more thing before you answer the question? This might flow really well. See, and I think this is the beauty of building a personal brand this way, showing up on social media and being really candid and honest and authentic about your practice and what you're doing. It builds a really loyal fan base, and that's how you build a brand.
That's exactly, I think, what our audience needs to hear, that you have to be authentic, and definitely it's not just the successes. We all have the challenges. So can you tell us, Karin, about the challenges that you have overcome throughout your career?
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest challenges is being a creative, first and foremost, and working with other creatives. You really need very clear processes in order to make sure that everyone is swimming in the same direction, and to be able to provide clarity to your team, to your collaborators, to your clients. And establishing those systems and processes has been one of probably the biggest challenges, because it takes time. You need to invest in those systems and processes. And when you're creative, you're used to, thinking with your right brain and dreaming, and systems and processes is very left brain. So I would say that has been a big challenge. But when you get those really good processes, I feel like that's when you have a very well-oiled machine that just works really well.
So as a woman in business, entrepreneur, also interior designer, creative, now you are a mother. Tell us about how you juggle with that as well.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, becoming a mom has changed my life and changed my work in the best way. I will say, being a woman in business, when I was launching the YouTube channel and talking about that topic, I was really interested in that because being an interior designer, I work in a very male-dominated industry. Most of my clients are men. Most of the architects that we work with are male. Most of the engineers are male. Most of the contractors are male. And so it was really interesting to navigate that, especially being a young designer. And now being a mom and having a daughter, she's 16 months. I think for me, I really aspire to be a great role model. I really want my daughter to see that I work hard, that I provide for myself, for my family, for her, and that I do something that I love. I think that that's really important. And juggling it all is definitely not easy. I'll admit I do get mom guilt every now and then because there are days when I feel like I really want to be with her or she doesn't want me to leave the house. And then there are days when I need to be working and I feel guilty that I'm not at home. So I do get mom guilt every now and then.
We live with guilt as women. We grow up with guilt. It just requires a lot of organization, which I'm sure you have. I personally have 2 daughters that are teenagers, so I can tell you they grew up fine. So just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. You're doing an amazing job. Karin, we are in the city of innovation. Can you tell us what is the future of design?
Ooh, that's such a good question. I think a few things. I think technology is something that we're going to see integrated into design even more, and that's not going anywhere. I think that in such a digital world too, we are able to be inspired by not just what's happening locally, but what's happening all over the globe. And then I also think that at the same time, sustainability and local materials matters more and more to designers and architects.
Agreed. And what is the future of Karin Bohn?
Well, I'm excited to keep growing the brand and to keep growing our portfolio. And I'm excited to keep taking on more projects really all around the world.
Karin, thank you for joining us today, and let our audience know how they can find you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been such a pleasure. People can find me at Karin Bohn almost on any social media platform. And if you're interested in my firm and my work, at houseofbohn.com.
Thank you.